Art of the USP. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of Index Card Insights. This is episode 48 of Index Card Insights. It is Thursday evening, and I hope you guys are doing well out there. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the USP. And, what can I tell you about the USP? This is the unique selling proposition, right? And I think this is something that gets overlooked by a lot of people. And there's a little bit of confusion surrounding it. You see, a unique selling proposition, it can apply to your company. Your entire business can have a unique selling proposition. An entire line of products could have a unique selling proposition, or just like one product could have a unique selling proposition, right? But what I'll tell you about this is, a lot of people have heard this idea of model what works, model what works. All right. And the thing about modeling what works is it's good, it's good advice, but it's a little bit oversimplified. Modeling what works is a little oversimplified. The fact is, if you start trying to model what works and you don't really know anything, you start looking at someone's product. Then you start looking at their sales page. Then you start looking at what they do, their funnel, and all this stuff. Well, there are things that get overlooked that you're not going to see unless you know what to look for. Now, the USP is one of those things, and it's one of those things that can get overlooked when you're just trying to model what works and you're kind of using oversimplified tactics. So this idea of having a USP on your product, oftentimes this is overlooked and people don't do it. And also, even when people are doing it, a lot of times they're not very good at it. you know, the thing about a USP, I know this is taboo to say this because it's hard to sell this, but let me just say it. Sometimes finding a USP is not easy. Finding a USP ventures into the realm of creativity. You can't do a paint by numbers on USP. I mean, you can. I'm going to show you a paint by numbers system on USP tonight. I'm going to show you a paint by numbers system to come up with a USP for your products tonight. However, it's only going to get you to a good USP. To get you to a great USP, you're going to have to venture into the realm of creativity, because great USPs venture into the realm of creativity. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in one of the insights. But anyways, let's get into this. Let's go ahead and talk about this. All right. So the first insight that I can give you when it comes to finding a USP, all right, is this right here. The Sig method. No, you're not going to be able to find this out there on the internet anywhere, because I made this up myself. This is a simplified method for coming up with a USP for your product. And the reason why it's important is because you need a USP for your product if you want to get more sales, right? If you don't have a unique selling proposition for your product, there's a very, very good chance you're not going to get as many sales. Now, there's a chance you might just be modeling someone who's successful and you might just by accident come up with a good USP. There's a chance, but you won't be able to recreate that success over and over and over again if you don't understand that you need the USP. So I'm going to show you a method tonight. It's called the Sig Method. This is something I came up with, and it works. It works. It works for me, and it can work for you. It'll get you 75% of the way there, right? And that's like a paint by numbers painting, and it's like when you think about paint by numbers, it's like it's good. You can do a paint by numbers painting and it looks pretty cool. It's not great though. It's not the kind of stuff that pays millions and millions of dollars like you might pay the masters of art for. You know what I mean? It's not going to get you to a Picasso. But the Sig method can get you over halfway there. It can get you 75% of the way there. Then you're going to have to delve into the realm of creativity to get the rest of it, right? So what is this Sig method I'm talking about when it comes to figuring out a USP? All right. It's very easy, and I'll teach it to you. Okay. So the S in the Sig method stands for subject. And what I mean by that is you want to find a specific subject for a general market. Okay. Find a specific subject for a general market. So if we look at the market of BizOp, right? This is a whole BizOp marketplace. A whole bunch of people who are trying to figure out how to make money online. Now we got a bunch of like specific subjects that we could talk about. We could talk about traffic. We could talk about email marketing. We could talk about list building. We could talk about the newest social media platform on the block. We could talk about, cryptocurrency. There's a lot of subjects, specific subjects that we could talk about to serve that general market of business opportunity, right? So the first step in the Sig method is to, come up with a specific subject in a general market, all right? Not too hard. You can figure that out. The second letter in the Sig method is I, and that stands for identify, all right? And with identify, what I'm saying is I want you to identify 10 to 20 competing products, right? Once you got your specific subject in a general market, go ahead and find some competing products. Let's say your specific idea is traffic. Your general market is BizOp. Okay, well, go find 10 or 20 traffic driving products. What are their USPs? All right, find their USPs. Now, I can tell you a USP that comes up over and over and over again in BizOp, right? And it is this idea of identifying a value that the market finds attractive, something that the market finds valuable, and then announcing that you have a secret on that thing. I have a secret about something you care about, right? You could probably make a living just with this one USP over and over and over again. I have a secret on this thing you find valuable over and over and over again. But anyways, what I want you to do is identify a specific subject in a general market. Okay, that's S. Then I want you to go ahead and I want you to identify 10 to 20 competitors, right? Competing products. Identify them and identify their USPs. All right. What are their USPs? And then the G in SIG is gap, right? And what do I mean by that? I want you to work the gap, right? When you look at those 10 to 20 products, do you see any gaps in there? Anything that's not being covered? And guys, look, I don't just mean benefit. I don't just mean benefit. I also mean angles as well. Are there any angles that aren't being covered? Are there any actual benefits that aren't being covered? Sometimes that's tough in the information marketing space, especially in BizOp. Seems like all the topics are being covered, right? But they're out there. You can find them. But are there gaps? I'll give you an example about gaps, all right? Think about bottled water for a second. Nothing has been just like, there's no greater place to look, I think, in my opinion, when it comes to trying to find examples about USPs than bottled water. We got to look at the bottled water industry as a whole to begin with. We're talking about a $250 billion industry that over the next 6 years is projected to double. It's projected to double in monetary worth over the next 6 years. That's the bottled water industry, projected to be a $500 billion industry by 2030. It's growing fast. And, it's funny because in a lot of parts of the United States, there shouldn't even be a bottled water industry. I mean, a lot of people in the United States have tap water. The tap water is filtered by the city or by the county you live in, or you have well water, and the well water has been tested. It's perfectly healthy to drink. So people have good running water in the United States, but many of them still choose bottled water. And you got to say why? Well, a lot of that comes down to marketing, and a lot of that comes down to USP. Right? So that's just tap water versus bottled water. But now, if we look at the individual different kinds of bottled water, you got Aquafina, you got Fiji, you got better box water is better. You got box water is better, right? You got box water is better. You got Fiji, you got Aquafina, you got Dasani, you got all these different brands of bottled water, right? And they're all competing with each other. Right? Well, they all have to have a USP to compete with each other. We're talking about a commodity. Water is a commodity. All these waters are pretty much the same. Sure, some of them are spring water. Some of them are filtered water, but for the most part, they're all H2O. They all taste about the same. Okay. When you look at like Fiji's whole thing is like they're exotic. Fiji comes from it's filtered by volcanic rock. You know, it's filtered by volcanic rock. It's exotic. It's natural, right? And when you buy it, you feel like you're going on an adventure, man. You just got some rare, artifact when you buy a bottle of Fiji water. You feel like it's high quality. It's natural. It came from being filtered from volcanic rock. That's the USP for Fiji water. When you look at like Aquafina, its whole thing is like technology. Aquafina has been scientifically filtered at the highest level. It's scientifically refined to be perfect, right? That's Aquafina, right? And when you look at boxed water is better, it comes in a carton instead of a bottle, right? And its whole thing is environmentally friendly, sustainable, right? So with box water is better. Their USP is about like this bigger cause. It's like a bigger cause. So like if you agree with their cause, then like it's almost like you don't even care what that water tastes like because it probably just tastes like water anyway, and you agree with their cause, right? So with box water is better. It's like they got this cause. Their USP is sustainability. Um, all three waters are just H2O, man. They're all the same chemical compounds. They're all commodity. It's the same water, but this is how they've identified themselves. This is how they've separated themselves, created differentiation in the market, right? So, anyways, that's just a few examples of finding gaps in the market, right? All three of these companies have found gaps in the market. When they put a new bottled water out to market, they were like, okay, we're going to do something different. How do we separate ourselves from all these other H2Os, right? And you got Fiji, and they got like the whole volcanic rock, exotic, natural thing. You got Aquafina that leans heavily into like technology, right? And then you got, box water is better, which leans heavily into sustainability. All three of them are just H2O, but they're all leaning heavily into a different thing. They're all trying to fill a gap in the same market, right? So again, Sig method, all right? Find a specific subject in a general market, right? Identify competitors and products and identify their USPs, and then work the gap. Work the gap. Whatever gap they're not filling, work that gap. It's the Sig method of USP invention. All right. Now, the third insight that I can give you is this Sig method of USP invention is great, but it's still a paint by numbers system. All right. And the third insight that I can give you is, again, finding a good USP is entering the realm of creativity. Okay. So just following a simple Sig method to come up with your USP, it can get you 75% of the way there. But, and you can sell with the 75%. You can sell with a good USP. Don't think you can't do it. You can. You can sell. Listen, a good USP, and you see this on Warrior Plus all the time. You go on Warrior Plus, and you'll see this USP all the time. Find something that the market values, right? And then tell them you have a secret about that thing, right? So what's something the market values? Free traffic, all right? Free traffic the market values. I have a secret about free traffic I want to share with you. It's gotten a lot of results for me. So you have proof of concept on a secret about something the market values. That is a USP that you see getting repeated over and over and over and over again on Warrior Plus, and other platforms too. But in BizOp, that's a USP that gets repeated quite a bit. It's like a Venn diagram, right? You got this circle here, which represents all the crap the market cares about, right? Then you got this circle over here, which represents all the crap and that you're good at, right? And when those two circles meet, you got like this little place in the middle where they meet, and your USP lives right there. Okay, that's where your USP lives. So this idea of having a secret, and it's a secret about something the market values. That's a USP that gets used over and over and over again. So again, USPs can be used and reused. It kind of just depends. Some Some USPs are evergreen. Some USPs are always going to matter. It doesn't matter how many other people use that USP, people are still going to care about it. I'll give you another example of the whole like secret combined with like something the market already values. Another one is pizza place, right? People love pizza places. You know, if a new pizza place opens up, people are going to go check it out. Why? Because people love pizza. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they all know what pizza tastes like. It doesn't matter if this place probably going to taste the same as this place. It doesn't matter, man. If a new pizza place opens up, everyone wants to check it out at least once, right? People love hamburgers. If a new hamburger place opens up, maybe not quite as much as pizza, but they're still going to go check it out, right? So some USPs are evergreen, but for the most part, ideally, you want to have some kind of unique selling proposition. And I want you to understand this is very important, right? A USP doesn't have to mean you have a brand new benefit. It doesn't mean your product has to be a brand new thing. It does mean that you have to position your product in a different way, right? You can't sell it the way everyone else has sold it, right? Because if you do, no one's going to care. No one's going to care. Like, I put out a product a couple years ago. It's called Guru in a Box, right? And it was 100 audio lessons, right? It was 100 audio lessons. It was like 46 hours of content. They came with a PLR license. People loved it. It made thousands of dollars. But if I would have positioned that as, hey, I got 100 audio lessons for you, you get PLR license, it wouldn't have sold as well as me calling it Guru in a Box. Because this idea of Guru in a Box, it kind of opens it changes the angle of what you're looking at. Now you feel like, oh, it's a guru in a box. What is that? What does that mean? I just bought a guru in a box. It's 100 audio lessons, man. I can use this for all kinds of stuff. Like, it changes the conversation. And a good USP changes the conversation. When we're talking about doing something that's already been done before, but you're trying to present it in a new way, you're trying to position it differently. It's about changing the conversation about something people already know about. Look at Uber. What is it, man? It's a taxi cab company. Uber is basically a glorified taxi company, but they didn't allow themselves to be called a taxi company. They changed the conversation when it came to like what they were. People don't say, hey, can you call me a taxi anymore? They say, hey, can you call me an Uber anymore? Somehow Uber replaced taxi. That's crazy. How did your name replace an entire industry? That's crazy, man. Crazy. It's been done before, right? Jello did it before too. But it's just amazing because the taxi industry was so well established. Uber comes along, turns it on its head, and now people don't say, call me a taxi. Now they say, call me an Uber. That's amazing, dude. And it's all just repositioning a known idea, right? So the point is, yes, okay, yes. A good USP, a great USP, you have to enter the realm of creativity, and don't think it's always going to be easy, because the realm of creativity isn't always easy. It's not always paint by numbers, okay? Not everything's easy, all right? That's just the way it is. You got to get used to that. Not everything's going to be easy. Finding a great USP ain't always going to be easy. You're entering the realm of creativity. Nothing's easy about writing a hit song, you know? Nothing's easy about painting a masterpiece. How long did it take old boy to paint the Sistine Chapel? You know what I mean? How long did that take? That wasn't easy. So like get over this idea that everything needs to be easy. It doesn't always need to be easy. You can use Sig Method here, like I just showed you. You can get 75% of the way there. You can come up with a good USP, but to find a great USP, it's not always going to be easy. You got to be okay with that. You know? So anyways, I hope this has been helpful to you. You know, I'm just trying to, help you a little bit when it comes to USPs. They're really important. They're not just important for product vendors. It's not just about if you want to put a product out, okay? It's about everything, man. If you want to do free content, we don't call it a USP, but ideally you'd like to have a good angle on something. Something interesting. If you don't have something new to say about something, what's the point of putting the free content out there? Because nobody's going to care, right? You got to have something interesting to say, something unique, some interesting take on a subject. That's free content. And it's really not that different than a USP if you think about it. So I just wanted to help you guys with that a little bit. I hope this has been helpful to you. It's a subject I like talking about. I'm just kind of tired, so sorry if I'm coming across grumpy. I don't mean to be grumpy, guys. I'm just kind of tired tonight. But listen, guys, if this has been helpful to you, then I'll give you another example, man. What about Inkbox? You guys hear Inkbox? They do those temporary tattoos. I mean, they're trying to make it cool to have temporary tattoos. In the past, it's been a stigma. Nobody liked temporary tattoos, man. That's stupid. That's like for kids. That's like a kid thing. But it's not a kid thing anymore, is it? Now you got companies out there like Inkbox. You get the temporary tattoos. They stay on your arm for a couple weeks and then they fade out. And like they're making it cool to like temporary tattoos. You got like temporary tattoos fading out in a couple weeks. They're cheaper than regular tattoos, less chance of infection than regular tattoos, less commitment required. And that's the big one, right? Now you can have a tattoo that's going to stay on your arm for a couple weeks, and then it'll just fade out automatically, and you don't have to commit to it, right? So they're making it cool, right? So they're taking something that's known and they're giving it a different angle. And the cool thing about Inkbox is they took something that had a stigma attached to it. They took something that had a negative connotation. They took that negative connotation, they turned it on its head, right? You could do the same thing in BizOp. BizOp has a negative connotation to it. Everyone who buys BizOp products is supposed to be a fool. Everyone who sells BizOp products is supposed to be like a step lower than a used car salesman. That's a negative connotation. It's just like temporary tattoos, okay? So it is what it is. Take the stigma, turn it on its head, right? So anyways, look, that's all I got. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it has, share it with someone you think it might help, all right? If you like this topic tonight, get over to epicconversions.com. Check out 12 Secrets. That's my freebie, my brand new freebie I got out. It's all about artificial intelligence, how to succeed and thrive in this new era of high technology. I reveal 12 secrets about artificial intelligence in there. And guess what? This comes with giveaway rights, all right? So if you don't got this yet, I don't know what to tell you. You're not trying hard enough. That's all I got. If you don't like what I had to say tonight, I thank you for listening this long anyway, and I'll see you in the next episode of Index Card Insights. Peace now.